If you read the description or anything, then if you haven't, go check it out now so I don't have to explain this. Because I'm just gonna instantly start talking about like the expansions and everything like that. So to be honest, just starting out right now, I'm a little bit disappointed by how I've heard so far how Black Armory is gonna take place. Because it's kind of like the Plaguelands thing they did from Destiny 2, where they just added like a new location, or not even. This isn't even like a new location. It's just like a new area, and this is where the story takes place. Like Rise of Iron was way better than what I think Black Armory is going to be. And Black Armory, I get it'll introduce a lot of cool stuff, but it's just stuff. I feel like it would be better having some more stuff for the story or some new location. Because I like the progress they made on adding like the new locations. Like for second expansion, we got the Fields of Glass, Mercury, and then we got Hell Space and Mars. We got the Tangled Shore, and then we got the Tangled Shore and the Dreaming City for Forsaken. Which, by the way, come on, killing off Cade, just no, I hate that. I don't know why people actually thought that Cade should be dead, because some people I know wanted Cade, didn't really want Cade, they wanted if they didn't really think that it was a bad thing that he died. So, yeah, I know there are people out there that said, hey, Destiny isn't dramatic enough, so there should be like more like death in the thing. You know, more sadness, and then, well, you did, you got Cade killed. So fuck those people. Anyway, I'm not going to talk much on Black Armory because there's not much to it. Basically, it's already coming out. I'm talking about some of my ideas that I had for like future expansions, like the Joker's Wild or Penumbra. Well, technically both, because I had ideas on both of them. So Joker's Wild, I've heard people say, oh, it's probably most likely going to be about the Drifter. If it's not, then, well, I guess that's fine. But it would be cool if it was about the Drifter. Because he's just kind of like this new guy that just all of a sudden came in and it's just like, hey, I'm new here. So, whatever. I'm not going to tell you anything. He's a total mystery. So we didn't even have to find anything out about the Drifter. It's just I kind of expect my idea to be for the Drifter. I couldn't see this being anybody else but him, and this would be a very cool idea. Now I like the new locations, but I don't kind of like the fact that they're not really much planets. The only planets we have are Mars, Earth, and Mercury. Meanwhile, we have Io, the moon of Jupiter, and Saturn's moon, and then we just have whatever the fucking... Oh, it's a planetoid. Oh. So it's a planetoid with a regular orbit, I guess. I don't know. So it's a weird planet. This is what we got. 3 planets. Before Destiny 1, we had Earth, Mars, Venus, Mercury as well, the Reef. I mean, I'd like to see Venus come back at least, because that would make it so that we have technically all of the Destiny 1 planets. Except we won't have the moon. I don't think there's much else that we could do on there. It was mainly like Crota's domain, and we killed them, and just kind of... I think there's still a high problem on the moon, but I don't think it's like much of a big deal to us now. Because we're dealing with Nessus and Mars and Io and Titan and all that shit. So, yeah, but anyway. But it would be cool if we had Venus come back and we got to we saw like an area where there was only little Vex conversion. It was the Ishtar Sink. Right? So, I mean, it was a decent area, but I'd like to see an area that actually has a lot of Vex conversion on it. Because the Vex converted all of Mercury, and then we're going to, Venus. Oh yeah, I remember actually, another thing I heard about Black Armory, real quick. I just remember this. There was something about the Vex. It was going to be something about the Vex being on Earth, so I guess that's actually what it was. which I guess is interesting when you think about it. The Vech's gonna go to Earth and try to take over the Black Armory. So, yeah, that's actually kind of interesting when you think about it a bit more. But yeah. So, but then I would like to see for Joker's Wild, this is my idea, if Venus came back. But if you are saying, hey, the Dreadnought's going to come back too, I'm thinking of a 2-in-1 situation. This is my thought on Joker's Wild, how it could happen. So for Joker's Wild, I'd actually like to see this cool cutscene where you see like the Drifter like in a ship, so you get to see the Drifter's ship, and he's like he's like trying to sneak his way over to the Dreadnought, and he's on the Dreadnought, and like he's kind of sneaking around, you know, killing like some hive that see him, just so that they don't like alert the alarms or anything, and he makes it to like a hive control station, you know, and then he tries activating like controls, and he tries controlling the hive ship, only to all of a sudden restart the engines on the Dreadnought, and the Dreadnought starts flying to the point where it will then cut to fucking. I could see if Eris came back for this, because Dreadnought shit's happening, and I could see if Eris had to come back for this kind of thing. But she probably wouldn't, seeing as my idea would be about something else. So I like to see. So this is the 2-in-1 situation I talked about, where it's Dreadnought is like, just barreling through the Milky Way, and everything's just gone to shit. And there's like alarms going on in the tower, just like, what's happening? What's going on here? And it's just like they get like a meeting area, and then they find out like, oh, the Drifter restarted the Dreadnought, and there's like they're like getting a transmission from it. It's like, hey, and just like hear like explosions and shit in the background, and like the sound of the Dreadnought flying. It's like, I could use some help here. You know, I might have accidentally restarted the Dreadnought, and it's just like fucking. Yeah, and it's just like explosions and shit happening in the background of the screen and all that, and he's like, I can really tell, and it's like the screen starts going out, and it's like, call the Guardian! and then Zavala sends you in, and you're like flying in, and there could be like a cool thing where, I was gonna say where you can jump off, like a cutscene where you jump off of your ship onto the fucking Dreadnought, and you have to make your way from the Dreadnought to this control station, which would be a pretty cool thing. You have like explosions happening, and you're fighting through onslaughts of like hive. I don't know if the Cabal are still fighting on there. Probably not. They probably all got wiped out. But like, so you're just fighting through these onslaughts of like hive. And you eventually have to fight a boss that's trying to get into the control station, and it's like a massive like. I would like to see a hive acolyte boss, because I like to see like this massive like horned acolyte or some crap like that. And then I'm so bad at Crucible. Okay, and then fucking. You know, you have to fight it, kill it, you go to the control station, and then after you kill it, you have to then make your way to the engines, where you then have to fight, like, another, like, a wizard boss that's, like, or acolyte boss that's, like, controlling the engines, and you destroy it. Then it's just like, oh, it's you destroy the engines, but it's on a collision course for Venus. So then it's like you have to try and stop it at Venus, so you have to, like, find a safe place for the collision at Venus. So where it's then like, you know, you gotta find a safe room, and then you find a room that will withstand the blast, and the drift is gonna like meet you there. You have to kill another like high acolyte boss. So there's like these 5 acolytes that are like running the ship, or not 5, these 3 acolytes that are like at important parts of the ship, because they're like the leaders of the actual Dreadnought. Now that Oryx is gone, I'm not thinking like Sabathon will come back, because you're gonna hear my idea later. Holy shit. So like these acolytes are like running. Wait, is this a comment? I don't know who that is. Anyway. Anyway, as I was saying though, like, it's barreling towards Venus, so you have to find the safe room where you kill the final acolyte that was manning the ship, because he knows that that's also the safest spot in there, so he's trying to get there. And then the ship just barrels into Venus and starts digs itself deep into like a very high Vex corrupted area of Venus. What the hell happened? So yeah, and then like the Vex have actually been known to capture alien species. Like they actually capture the literal darkness itself. You know, the big bad darkness that killed the Traveler. They actually had some of them captured. So I like to see the Dreadnought barreled into Venus, and like they actually teleported some alien species into Venus. Like not like new Fallen or Hive or Cabal or anything like that, because I want a new species here. I'm talking like new race and new species. I'm talking about whole totally new. Oh, I just read that comment. Okay, so I just read that comment. I just realized what it meant because it was like kind of weird on the screen. He wanted the collection that everybody loves Raymond from me, even though I didn't give that to him. Anyway, that's probably just a rant, to be honest. He probably didn't actually know me. Anyway, but it would be so then like, you know, this totally new alien species. I don't know what they would be. Like they could be fucking lizard people for all I care. And, you know, like, they are released, and they are these other people that had the Traveler, but the Traveler left them, like they did for the Fallen, because the Fallen aren't the first and the last. They are, like, one of many that had this happen to them. So...
Lost the lead. You're in the lead.
Sorry, I was focusing a bit there. Yeah, so it would just be this cool concept of them coming out, and they had the Traveler before, but they're like, unlike the Fallen, who I guess are kind of mad and insane of it, they're like totally no intelligence, barbaric caveman like people, aliens, and fucking kill them anyway. Okay, sorry. Crucible probably wasn't the best idea. So they're absolute savages, and what they do is to survive, they feed on light, and like a little bit of light can last them for like a whole year, but they're just kind of mad and insane and like totally gluttonous, so they like eat as much light as they possibly can to start living longer. So and eventually, like, I had this idea for when you're fighting them, you can actually end up in like a room, like later on in the story, like their feeding grounds, and you see piles of dead Guardian bodies and dead ghost shells and all that, like all the light just drained out of them, like there was nothing there to begin with. Why am I even hitting him? Why am I not hitting him? Okay. Again, focusing again. Sorry. Yeah, so it's like you find like the feeding grounds and all the lights rained out, and they're trying to like get to the Traveler. And then the cool thing that would be about these enemies is the reason they wouldn't be normal as well, totally new, like their special thing, is that they actually have the powers of the light. Not like fully powers, like actual guardians, like you're fighting like alien guardians. I'm talking like fucking, you know, they can use certain like special abilities and crap that are light based, but they also have stuff that's like regular guns. They aren't like corrupted by darkness or anything. It's mainly like light based attacks and like these special guns and all that. And then like, you know, you fight them and shit. and then that'll be kind of the thing. You have to stop the big bad boss guy from getting his off of Venus in an ancient like warship. Because I don't think they would use a dreadnought. I'd like to see like the dreadnought thing happen, but they introduced like this wholly new story based around it. So the dreadnought and Venus become a new location, and it's all taking place there. Sort of like stealing like this hive technology, and they had to break through and just steal like this one of their warships from when they still had the Traveler that was also taken by Vex, and it's like imprisoned, I guess, as well. So what they do is like you eventually fail and they get their ship, but they're trying to take like different technology to repair it. So they're taking like Vex technology and Hive technology, and you have to, and then eventually you actually do get to stop them. And what he does is he's like preparing to get on his warship. So it's like, okay, this is our chance. We have to do this now, or else it's too late. And he'll take his warship to the Traveler and kill it and take it as a feeding ground. It'll be like Gaul all over again, except like 10 times worse. So you have to stop it before it happens, because we know that he's going to be going now. So then you get like on his ship and you're able to fight him. And then I feel like this would be kind of like a Dreaming City thing again, where it could like you could actually explore the ship, the warship. It's like this massive thing, almost similar to the Dreadnought, except, you know, a different alien species. Fuck. And so you're actually able to explore it, and it's like the Dreaming City, how you locked it later on. You eventually you sneak on there and you have to kill the boss. Oh yeah, my weekly Crucible challenge, and I got a new helmet. Let me just put that on real quick. Yes, that's what I like.
Don't be discouraged.
So yeah, so eventually, so they have to like be able to unlock it. You like getting a special like talisman of light, I think it can be called. And what it is like they use like similar technology to like this totally new technology. You can say that it's similar to Hive or similar to Vex or Woken. You know, it's like this totally new thing, but it's still a talisman either way. So, you know, similar to Hive/Woken. And I get this is sounding a lot like Dreaming City, but what you have to do is you have to fill it with light. And how you fill it with light is you have to go, like, you have to actually go to the Traveler. And it'll be like a special mission where you get to encounter the Traveler, and then you can go on there and try and stop them from reactivating the warship. And that's like what the second area will be. So you're fighting in the Dreaming City. Oh no, I'm probably gonna leave this match. But how you're fighting in the Dreaming City to try and find out stuff about the curse and everything and stop it. You're fighting on the warship so that you can prevent them from reactivating it and trying to barrel towards the Traveler again. So like you could see like, and it doesn't really matter where Venus is, to be honest, because it could be they could put it like right over here or something like that. Because I mean, they're not going in actual order of the sun. I know they put Mercury near it, but I mean they put Mars here, even though it's supposed to be like all the way back here. So they're not actually going on basic thing. If fucking Titan's over next to Mars, yeah, no. So they can put Venus anywhere on the map. I'm gonna join them. So they have Venus on the map, and then they have like next to the Traveler, they have the actual warship that you can explore when you get the talisman. Or maybe it won't be called a talisman, but it could be called like a key of light or something like that. I'm broadcasting right now. Right now talking about some ideas for like an expansion, for the expansions coming in Destiny 2, and I'm in the middle of broadcasting it. So I'm going to be talking a lot. Okay? So don't get pissed off if I'm talking right now, okay? So what's going to happen, what would happen would be, you know, you're able to get on the you're able to like fight on the warship, prevent them from reactivating it, and you have to actually go to the Traveler, and you have to have them fill it with light for you so that it's charged up enough. And like you go, Q actually not. I'm trying to do something here. So anyway, so then like you can go on like this vision journey where you actually get to like talk to the traveler and all that stuff. Where like you're literally talking directly to the traveler.
Be back.
It'll be like a massive kind of lore thing. And then, then you'll be able to just kind of explore it like you do the Dreaming City. And then you can have like a raid layer, or not even a raid layer, you can have like a raid thing. So instead of a new raid layer for Dreaming City, they can have an actual new raid based on stopping something and like stopping like this experiment. I don't know. You can go on the warship, and then you can actually try and you can do a raid in there, or you could do a raid on Venus. I don't know which one you do, but it's still pretty cool. So, or like you could do like a raid where you have to try and make the ship from like being totally inoperational, so it won't work anymore. And then so then the ship can never be piloted again to try and destroy the traveler, but you're still able to like explore it and such. So that, because like that's what people want to do. Hunter isn't talking to me right now. I think he muted me.
Hunter, did you mute Tank?
It doesn't matter anyway. If he keeps muted, oh, I muted him.
Nah, you muted him.
Yeah, I realized that, but that's fine. He probably doesn't want to listen to me talk anyway, and if he's going to be talking, then he could talk. Anyway, so yeah, that would be kind of like the premise of Joker's Wild. That would be the premise of Joker's Wild. It would be a pretty cool expansion with this new raid, because I get like Leviathan at 2 raid layers, but I mean it's not like the Last Wish raid needs 2 raid layers. Like it could just be a new raid and have a raid layer and the Black Armory, but it doesn't need to have 3 or 2
Yo,
raid
Hunter,
layers.
you wanna play some Save the World?
So I'll probably play later Log as well. Anyway, but yeah, so then and then like get into Penumbra. This is like my big idea for Penumbra. It'll be like kind of like a year 3 expansion. And what it would be was, this would be like the biggest of big, the absolute fucking massive one. Actually, this wouldn't be the year 2. You know what, now that I think about it, if it was the year 2 one and you just bought the annual pass and got it for free, because you spent $35 on 3 expansions.
Oh, by the way, Tank, if you get on Save the World, I have some amazing stuff. So I might be able to give you something, okay?
Yeah. Well, I have an idea, not for Penumbra, but for year 3, where they introduced the 9 and the Darkness, where my idea was, I don't know what it'll be so far, but all I know is that it will be, like, let me ask you this, people in the comments, have you ever wondered why the Darkness hasn't reached the Traveler yet in 1 full year? Even though even though they were outside of the Milky Way, they were still sitting like at the edge of the Milky Way. I don't think they were all the way on their home world. And like, I'm pretty sure they're at the edge of the Milky Way, and they reactivated they're coming over here on these massive ships, like a total army. So even so, it's been a year, and we have ships that can make it to another planet in like a matter of seconds. Or like 1 minute. So how is it taking them a year to just get from the Milky Way to the Traveler? My theory is that the 9 have actually been fighting the Darkness and are trying to stop them from getting to the Traveler. And you should read up on some lore on this, people. There's a guy called Mailing Games. You can check out one of his videos. The 9 are like these Gaia forms, these energies of planets, and they used to be humans that were with the Awokens. Like, all the Awoken were humans, and they turned Awoken. And the 9 of the crew of the ship that became Awoken went missing, and that's because they became Gaia forms. Like Mars Saw became the first Awoken. They became the Gaia forms of the 9 planets, including Pluto. I don't want to hear debates on Pluto's not a fucking planet. Pluto's not a planet. No, some people, like in Destiny, Pluto is considered by some people a planet, and considered not a planet for people as well. But they count it as one of the planets because it's like, like they say that there's a Gaia form for every asteroid, and like from every asteroid to every planet. You know, so from the smallest asteroid to the largest planet, there's a Gaia form. And the stronger ones are the ones that are from planets. And I guess it's a 9 because one of them, because the one for Pluto is like actually still strong, and like a planet one. So I guess they could like consider it one of the planets. So basically, like the Gaia forms are, and like the Gaia forms are fighting the darkness, so you actually get to team up with like the alliance of the Gaia forms. So you get to team up with a 9 as well, and then also like my theory was if there is a Gaia form for every single asteroid and every single planet form, not stronger like the Earth, Mars, or Mercury ones, but they can still have Gaia forms. So they could have like the Gaia. So Zur. My theory was, what if Zur is a Gaia form? Reason why we don't know Zur's species is because we haven't thought that he might be a species we already know about, like the Gaia forms. Because they're kind of just like these beings of energy, and Zur could just be a being of energy that's a Gaia form. And he wears like the cloak because he's just pure energy, and he contains his body in like that form of like the robes and the gloves and everything, and he only shows his face in the hood, so you can see. I guess, I don't know, something like that. So it would make sense too, because he could just be the Gaia form of asteroid, and he'd be called he's called the emissary of the 9. So it could be like the largest asteroid, or even like a moon out there, the most powerful moon. He's the Gaia form for one of those places. For all you know, he's the Gaia form of Earth Moon. So this would definitely be the Year 2 expansion. So I have no ideas for Penumbra, because I thought of Penumbra as the Year 3 expansion, but then I realized that they'd probably have you purchase that instead of giving you the first 2 expansions for free, like they did for, you know, like when it first came out, you could get the first 2 expansions for free if you bought the annual pass with it. But it wouldn't make sense if they also gave you like the Year 3 expansion.
By the way, I need some help on a mission.
So yeah, so I have no ideas for Penumbra right now. I could think of something, but right now I don't have much. Yeah, so yeah, actually, I never really considered that. So yeah, but that would definitely be like a Year 3 expansion with the 9 and the darkness, and the guy, you know, like the Gaia forms and all that. But Penumbra's a mystery to me. I have no ideas for Penumbra. I don't know. What new planet could they introduce? I don't want to see another moon. I swear to God, if I ever see another moon added, they already have 3 moons, and then they have 3 planets, and then they just have an asteroid belt. I want to see more actual planets, not more of fucking moons. Because I get it, moons are pretty interesting, but they're not that interesting. The thing that was really interesting about these moons was the arcology, the Pyramidion, and this one. No, we only have 2 moons. So this one isn't even like a moon; it's actually like a planetoid. So 2 moons, I feel like, is enough moons. Maybe Penumbra can add in the regular Earth moon, like over here or something like that. That I'll be fine with. If they add back Earth moon and something's happening there, like Savathun or some crap like that. But if it's not Earth's moon, I don't want to see it unless you have the best story you could possibly come up with for the moon. Okay? I don't wanna see any of that bull crap with just this random stories and on these random moons. Okay. It's gonna like very much piss me off. Because there's no need for it.
Oh my god. Your thing.
What?
I need help on a mission on Save the World.
Okay. I guess I could broadcast it. I think I'm done talking. Actually, I'm gonna end the broadcast.